All right, this is Richard Hoffman. It's Monday. This is the 5th video in the 10 of 10 video, or 10 in 10 video challenges. DLD After Dark challenged me too, so after this, I'll be halfway done. Today's video, it's gonna be a kind of a spin-off of yesterday's video. I'm gonna talk about the differences between what makes an Uzi receiver, or what makes an Uzi a submachine gun compared to a semi-auto. If we start with the full-size Uzis, I've got a semi-auto receiver, and it is this blocking bar right here. Let's see if you can get a better picture of it right there. That makes it a semi-auto. Here's one of my full autos. If you look, it does not have that bar in there. So this is a full auto because it doesn't have the blocking bar. This is a semi-auto. The blocking bar, let's get my full auto bolt. If I drop a full auto bolt in there, the back of the bolt hits that blocking bar, will not go through. This is a post-sample bolt conversion. It is slotted to go around that blocking bar. And if I drop that into the semi-auto receiver, it goes right back. And it's also clearanced to fit over the restrictor ring for the semi-auto feed ramp. Submachine gun bolt is not. That is what makes a submachine gun receiver differ from a semi-auto receiver. Just that blocking bar. That's the only thing ATF cares about now. It used to be they cared about some other things. Now, that's it. If it's got the blocking bar, it's a semi-auto. If it doesn't, it's a full auto. The full auto, full-size guns fire from an open bolt, which means, if you're not familiar with it, the bolt comes up, hits on the sear, stays open. Once you pull the trigger, the bolt will come forward, set off the round. There's a fixed firing pin in the submachine gun bolts. If I can get a light in here. See that little tip? I don't know if you can, I'm not going to be able to. There it is. You can kind of see it in there. It's shiny from the brass, from the primers. But a semi-auto bolt, it's a modified full auto bolt. They did this to add more weight to it. This is an IMI full-size semi-auto bolt, but it has a separate striker on it, so it fires from the closed bolt. The bolt goes closed. When you pull the trigger, if you get the damn thing in the right hole, pull the trigger, striker goes forward, gun goes bang. Or that's the general idea of what it's supposed to do. Going on to the minis. Full-size guns. If you have a transferable receiver with the blocking bar in it, I cannot take that blocking bar out. The bolt is married to the gun. If something happens to the bolt, you got a freaking $15,000, $12,000 paperweight. And this comes from ATF Tech Branch, they have told me specifically, even a transferable receiver, even if it says Uzi receiver, that serial number, it's a machine gun, I can't take this blocking bar out. They say, Tech Branch says, I'm manufacturing a new machine gun if I do that. If, on the other hand, you have the same gun and your blocking bar, the welds crack on it, and say they crack on the front, which is where you want it to crack, and it's kind of doing one of these numbers and it's bent a little down or a little up, and you go to put your bolt in it, the slotted bolt that it's married to, and it hits the blocking bar and won't go any further and the gun won't fire, then that is a malfunction with the gun. I can then, at that point, take your slotted bolt that's married to your gun, cut it in half, so there's not two machine guns, there's one machine gun, one cut up bolt. I can then remove the rest of the blocking bar, fix any holes, any damage on the side, bend marks, whatever, make it pretty again. Put a regular submachine gun bolt in it. Your gun is fixed, it doesn't have a blocking bar. If your paperwork says that it's a transferable receiver, but your receiver was converted with a slotted bolt, you're fucked. I can't do anything. I think it's stupid rules. Half ATF wants me to take transferable receivers and cut the bolt and take the fucking blocking bar out of it, so that slotted bolt never gets into an unregistered gun, because that slotted bolt is a machine gun in itself. Let's see. Minis. Minis are different. Minis have a notched trunnion. The submachine guns, the trunnion is notched. Let me see if I can hold all this stuff so you can see. The submachine gun one is this one. See if I can get a light here. Okay, see the back of those trunnions? This one has the notches on each side, right where I stuck that key. See that Allen wrench sticking in the trunnion? And you can see the notch on that other side. Semi-auto doesn't have those notches. Those notches are for the feet on the submachine gun bolt, mini bolt. The reason it has these feet is if you don't have these feet on the mini bolt, the bolt sits too far forward in the gun, and the rounds have a hard time, especially the first one, coming up the face of the feed ramp. A lot of times it'll be behind the feed ramp, and then you have to cock the bolt to get it to pick up that first round. The problem with that is the bolt, if it's like that, the bolt doesn't get a running start to pick up that first round. Sometimes you get first round jams. Once it starts shooting, you're usually fine. It usually doesn't have any effect on it. But you really want the feet on a submachine gun to give it that little extra running room. We're not going to talk about the micros. I refuse to talk about the difference between semi and full auto micros, because I don't want ATF to know what the fucking difference is. And they're too goddamn stupid. So we don't talk about it. You can always ask me personally, and I'll tell you what the difference is personally. But let's see, what else is different between them? Nothing. That's it. That's what makes a machine gun, a semi-auto, a semi-auto. The minis, full size, came in open bolt, full auto. That's it. They never came in semi-auto, or they never came in closed bolt, full auto. Semi-autos are all closed bolt. The minis, they are all closed bolt semi-autos. They have the striker assembly, if I get my finger off it. So the bolt closes, and then the striker, when you pull the trigger, the striker fires. The submachine guns were open bolt and they offered a closed bolt on it. The micros are all closed bolts. Semi-auto, full auto, they're all closed bolts, every single one of them. They never offered the micro in an open bolt. I hope that clears up some of the stuff on what the differences are between this and that and the other thing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. If you want me to do videos on any particular thing in these last 5 videos I need to do, please put it in the comments. You know, like, share, subscribe, whatever the hell you're supposed to do to get me more YouTubes. You all have a nice day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.